transportation?
My feet and the bicycle. I got, let's see, how old do you want to go?
Over.
Well, I got my first car when I was old enough to drive.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if I had always had a car after that.
What pets did you have?
Growing up, we had, I'm trying to think, two or three times we had puppies, had a dog. Last puppy I remember, I was probably a freshman, but in junior college, and a little pug, and that was kind of a neat dog.
Yeah.
But we had dogs.
Okay. And then, what is your favorite childhood memory?
When I was, I guess, younger, would the favorite childhood memories would be things like, I remember when we were in Danville, we took a long vacation up in northern Minnesota to this place called Lake Big Sand. Mm-hmm. And I brought a buddy along, and we did a lot of fishing and swimming and rowing out on the lake, and that was a lot of fun. Going down to particularly my uncles, my dad's uncle, because he's older. His farm down at the tip of the Ozarks was just a fantastic place, and they had all the animals and stuff, and going out and going fishing in the Ozarks and that sort of thing. Was a pretty good memory. Is that too much?
No, it's good. And then for your adulthood, what was the main freedom you enjoyed most when you first became an adult?
Got bad news for you, Hunter. When you become an adult, you don't gain freedoms, you gain responsibilities. Your freedoms happen when you're a kid. Yeah, I don't know exactly what you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for something like old enough to vote, old enough to drink, that sort of thing. But that comes earlier than adulthood.
Yeah. And then, what was your most challenging responsibility as an adult?
You mean other than keeping your mother in line? I guess, is this work related or family related? Or
just anything.
Anything. Certainly, in a sense, it was challenging raising, the family and so forth. I'm having trouble. Maybe we come back to this.
Okay. And then, what colleges were you debating between?
I was debating between Oregon and Cal. And I had applied to Cal, was not too sure I was going to get in. We came up to Eugene because Uncle Sam was up there, and I also knew a couple of kids that were going to Oregon, and so I was very interested in it. And so I decided, well, that's probably where I'm going to go. And when I came back home, there was a letter of acceptance from Berkeley, so I went there.
Mm-hmm. And then, why did you choose Cal?
Many reasons. Obviously familiar with Berkeley.
Mm-hmm.
When I lived with my grandmother, they lived very close to it. My uncle Preston, went to Berkeley. I just had always wanted to go to Cal. It's a good school, and a lot of friends up there, close to home.
And then, what was your major, and why did you choose it?
I chose business administration because I had no idea what I wanted to do. And later on, as I've said, it was one of the last courses I took. It was a course in production management on the use of operations research. And I just kind of looked at it and I said, geez, that's what I want to do. I want to do operations research. So that led into the mathematics and applied mathematics and going into.
And then what was your favorite experience while you were in college?
My favorite experience. I would have to say the fun things would be living in the fraternity house, and probably in the fraternity house, one of the most fun things we did was, I was a Phi Gamma Delta, which is Fiji's. And every year we put on what we call the Fiji Islanders. And so before the Fiji Islander, everybody figures out who the dates are going to be. And there's a crew of 4 of us that go around at the back of an old pickup truck. And we put on these sarongs, and we blacken our bodies so we look like Fiji Islanders. And we go running into the sorority house and at dinner time. And we jump up on the table with the scroll and read off the girls that are invited to the Fiji Islander. And going around that to the different sorority houses was really a hoot.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Of course, you've had a little bit of false courage that you built up before then in the form of the punch that you, for the Islander that you set for.
And then, how did you meet Grandma?
First time I met Grandma, I was, believe it or not, in the library at Cal, and I'd gone over there to study with a girl I was taking out. The girl was actually from Modesto. I knew her in high school. And she was there with Grandma. She introduced me to Grandma. And I said, oh yeah, Grandma was and this girl were both in sorority right across the Fiji Circle. So I hadn't known her up until that point. So then, a couple of weeks later, this girlfriend that I'd been courting, we were going to a big formal party. She couldn't go. She got sick and couldn't go. Kind of the last minute, and she said, Mary Ann doesn't have a date. What would you like for her to fill in? And I said, sure,
Yeah.
So that was it. After that, there was no more other girls.
And then, what was it like when you proposed, and where were you?
You know, Hunter, I do not remember exactly proposing. I remember when Grandma and I got pinned. Remember what that is? Pin is, in your fraternity, you got a little fraternity button. And when you pin a girl, it's kind of like a pre-engagement. So I pinned her on a particular time that we had a group of Fijis that were, it was a singing group that was down from the University of Washington. I don't know, you ever hear of the Brothers Four? No. No, they were a popular, the Kingston Trio? Yeah, well they were about like the Kingston Trio, and you know, they're a pretty famous group. But they were down, and so for the pinning thing, we wanted to serenade at the Brothers Four sorority house, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah. And then.
And then we were pinned for about a year, and you know, once you get pinned, you know, it's pretty close. You know you're going to get engaged. And I can't remember the exact moment we decided, you know, when we were going to get married. But I do remember going out to San Leandro, where she lived, to talk to her dad about, asking
Yeah.
the hand and parents and everything, which your mom thought, which grandma thought was pretty funny.
And then, in what year did you get married, and how long was it after you met?
We got married in 1961. I have to look, make sure, because we just had, we just had our 50th. Yeah, it had to be 61. It was about, so we probably met in 59, so it was, a couple of years, maybe 2.5 years.
And then, what was your wedding like, and what do you remember most about it?
Okay. Our wedding was in a little church that was just off campus. And, of course, our parents were there, my grandmother was there, my brother was best man, and all of my grooms were fraternity brothers. And so I remember I was, kind of in a, in a kind of state of shock during the ceremony and everything. And it came time to, where you kiss the bride. And I must have gone brain dead or something. And Grandma looks up at me and she says, "Aren't you going to kiss me?" I snapped too. And everybody thought that was pretty funny. So I remember that.
And then, what was being a soldier like?
Being a soldier, you talk about gaining freedom when you're an adult. You talk about losing freedom when you're a soldier. Being a soldier is like getting up at 3:30 in the morning, and you do just basic training. Do a lot of running out to the train fire range. You shoot every gun that's imaginable. We were shooting at that time when I was there. We were shooting M1s, machine guns, bazookas, flamethrowers. You're throwing grenades. You're learning all this stuff. You learn first aid. You know how to bandage battle wounds. So that was, and I remember I was very fortunate because I fired expert on the train fire range with my M1, and those of us that did, and maybe it was about 20 out of 120 by the fired expert, we got the weekends off, and I got to come home, and I was married. Grandma and I were married at that time, so that was really good.
That's cool.
And then after that, the other 3 months I spent in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, firing 105 howitzers in Kansas.
And then, what was your first real job? And then, what was your first real job?
What do you mean by real job?
Like,
do you mean career type thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that was with Del Monte in San Francisco. That was pretty much right out of college.
And then, what years were your kids born?
My son was born in 1968. My daughter was born in 1970.
And then, how did you choose the names of your children, and why are they significant?
Mitchell William Hunter. Mitchell is Mary Ann's maiden name. William is my first name. Heidi Ann Hunter, at that time, she's now Vincent Haler.
Yeah.
Heidi was chosen because we just really loved the name Heidi, and we knew she would like it too. And Ann was my mother's name. It wasn't Mary Ann. It was Ann.
And then, what was the biggest responsibility that came with having children, and what was your biggest fear?
I think the biggest responsibility was making sure that they were safe and that they had everything they needed to grow physically and mentally, and, you know, be around